guys. Hi. I know it's been a while since my last upload, and you might be looking for me or not, but the important thing is I'm here now and I'm doing my very first live. So, for those of you who do not know, I'm back in the Philippines for good, and I kind of took a break from teaching. Well, not totally because I'm teaching Japanese students for a month now, right? It's an ESL school, so it's not technically the kind of teaching that I'm used to for 7 years, but yeah, it's still teaching, so not totally. Um, Aside from online teaching, I also am working on a novel with Good Novel. I applied a contract with them, so I used the story that I have been working on since 2016. But warning, for those who have read my story from 2016 to 2019, there are a couple of major changes. But you'll still love Kelly, you know. She's still the character we love. Although I made her somehow imperfect. Because, in my first version, she's somehow like a saint kind of um, character. Like she's flawless, she's a saint, she's kind and demure and genuine. But in this new version, there are a couple of backstories that I added. I showed her insecurities and all. A lot of additional characters and backstories from the characters that I haven't really paid much attention to before, right? And yeah, also I'm doing a little bit of voice acting, voice dubbing, but I'm not really am allowed to. I'm not allowed to disclose anything yet because of a non-disclosure agreement that I had with the employer. But once I'm allowed to make an announcement, you'll be the first one to know, guys. So since I have a little bit of a break, um, I would like to do something for my channel. For the first time in a long time, I'll be doing an audiobook, okay? Because the last upload that I had with this channel was a short film. Well, if you guys noticed, I changed it to like the title to pocket film before because short films are supposed to be 3 minutes and up, right? But less than an hour or so for it to be considered like feature film. But my film is only like 2 minutes. Yeah, so I named it pocket film. However, one of the categories for it to be a pocket film is it has to be vertically recorded, which isn't. So I put the title back to horizontal. But I'm talking too much. I guess what I'm going to do at the moment is to do a live reading of an audiobook which is connected to my dream last night. It was sad, you know. It was about my grandmother. I totally forgot the whole thing, but I know it's about her. I know it's sad because when I woke up, I felt so devastated that I cried in the bathroom, but I didn't. I made sure that Alvin didn't notice about it because I don't want him to worry about it. Anyway, so it's sad. And I checked on her. She's okay. She's healthy. She's vaccinated actually and all. But I think I'm doing this in honor of all the grandparents in the world and probably to remind everyone that we have very limited time with them, so we have to make sure that they're happy at the very last moment. Warning, there's some sort of death theme in this story, but um, since it was written for 7 to 12 years old, right? Yeah, it's safe. There are no gory details about the death and all, so we can all read it. All right, so if you're ready, I'm ready. Let me just put this one in so I can hear what I'm gonna have to say. Set it up, and let's do this.
Grandmother, a beautiful story of a much loved grandmother who dies. Written by Hans Christian Andersen. Read by Jean C. Dakudag. Grandmother is very old. Her face is wrinkled, and her hair is quite white. But her eyes are like two stars, and they have a mild, gentle expression in them when they look at you, which does you good. She wears a dress of heavy, rich silk with large flowers worked on it, and it rustles when she moves. And then she can tell the most wonderful stories. Grandmother knows a great deal, for she was alive before father and mother. That's quite certain. She has a hymn book with large silver clasps in which she often reads. And in the book, between the leaves, lies a rose, quite flat and dry. It is not so pretty as the roses which are standing in the glass, and yet she smiles at it most pleasantly, and tears even come into her eyes. I wonder why grandmother looks at the withered flower in the old book that way. Do you know? Why, when grandmother's tears fall upon the rose, and she is looking at it, the rose revives and fills the room with fragrance. The walls vanish as in a mist, and all around her is a glorious green wood, where in summer the sunlight streams through thick foliage. And grandmother, why she is young again, a charming maiden, fresh as a rose, with round rosy cheeks, fair, bright ringlets, and a figure pretty and graceful. But the eyes, those mild, saintly eyes, are the same. They have been left to grandmother. At her side sits a young man, tall and strong. He gives her a rose, and she smiles. Grandmother cannot smile like that now. Yes, she is smiling at the memory of that day, and many thoughts and recollections of the past. But the handsome young man is gone, and the rose has withered in the old book, and grandmother is sitting there, again an old woman, looking down upon the withered rose in the book. Grandmother is dead now. She had been sitting in her armchair, telling us a long, beautiful tale. And when it was finished, she said she was tired and leaned her head back to sleep a while. We could hear her gentle breathing as she slept. Gradually, it became quieter and calmer, and on her countenance beamed happiness and peace. It was as if lighted up with a ray of sunshine. She smiled once more, and then people said she was dead. She was laid in a black coffin, looking mild and beautiful in the white folds of the shrouded linen, though her eyes were closed. But every wrinkle had vanished. Her hair looked white and silvery, and round her mouth lingered a sweet smile. We did not feel at all afraid to look at her, who had been such a dear, good grandmother. The hymn book, in which the rose still lay, was placed under her head, for so she had wished it, and then they buried grandmother. On the grave, close by the churchyard wall, they planted a rose tree. It was soon full of roses, and the nightingale sat among the flowers and sang over the grave. From the organ in the church sounded the music and the words of the beautiful psalms, which were written in the old book under the head of the one who had died. The moon shone upon the grave, but the dead were not there. Every child could go safely, even at night, and pluck a rose from the tree by the churchyard wall. The dead know more than we who are living. They know what a terror would come upon us if such a strange thing were to happen as the appearance of a dead person among us. They are better off than we are. The dead return no more. The earth has been heaped on the coffin, and it is earth only that lies within. The leaves of the hymn book are dust, and the rose, with all its recollections, has crumbled to dust also. But over the grave fresh roses bloom, the nightingale sings, and the organ sounds, and there still lives a remembrance of old grandmother, with the loving gentle eyes that always looked young. Eyes can never die. Ours will once again behold dear grandmother, young and beautiful as when, for the first time, she kissed the fresh red rose that is now dust in the grave.
Guys, so yeah, I might have had a little bit of mistakes there, but yeah, I think there are two words. But yes, I guess what I want to say is let's all love our grandparents, grandmothers, and grandfathers. And as I mentioned earlier, let us cherish the moments that we still have for them. What I like about this story is that number one, yes, it talked about death. Yes, it's very sensitive for young children, right? But the way it was written, it's careful, it's delicate, I know, but it was presented in a way that children will not be scared at their grandparents when they see them lying in the coffin, right? I understand that death can be really harsh for young children, especially for their grandmothers, grandfathers, because when they have so much, like, little time left for them, they look forward for summer vacation, Christmas break, and all because those are the times that they see their grandparents. And knowing that it will never happen, like ever, because of the death, right? It's devastating for the children because it's gonna be a stage of their lives that another person is, let's say, deducted from the number of people who love them, right? But this is why, number two, I admire the people who are working in funeral homes because they can transform any dead body into a sleepy, like sleeping one, right? No matter how tragic death was, right, or will be, they can turn the body into, like, according to the story, just the wrinkles are gone, the hair is, white and silvery. Like, it was a good thing, the last good thing for children to remember. Like, they will not remember their grandparents as scary, right? Number three, the rose. You know how I love roses, right? I've been telling this to my videos like almost all the time, right? But I guess the fact that number one, looking back at memories, it was presented by the dried flat rose, right? Which was hidden in the hymn book for quite some time, or a very long time, because it was mentioned that it was given by a young man, right? And she's already old. Also, I guess putting like a rose tree on a graveyard, that's a big deal, right? Because it's something alive. But where under it is actually someone someone dead or not alive, right? And it for me it's a symbol of life after death. Like people can still actually go there. Children will not be scared to go there even at night, according to the story. They can even pluck the flowers, the roses, because this is how the grandmother wants to be remembered for. Not scary, but someone generous, right? So there, and I hope you also love the story. You can read it to your kids, to your brothers or sisters or students if you're a teacher, right? We should not be afraid to introduce to them the theme or the topic about death because it's inevitable. But of course, you have to present it to them in a calm way, in a careful manner. And this story is perfect. That's I guess that's what I'm trying to say. All right, so it's already 10:48. I have other errands to do actually, and yeah, it's good to have another time with you. Thank you for those who are watching at the moment. Hi, Jean Jean. Hello. I'm sorry. I wasn't able to really check on the other messages, but yeah, you're here watching. Thank you. I miss you, Jin Jin. Can I also apply? Why not, diba? You can also do that. Anyway, I'm gonna talk to you guys next time once again, and I hope I have more free time. Oh, and by the way, I am going to I'm gonna try my best to finish um, a short film this week. And if I'm gonna be successful in finishing it, this is going to help, or this is going to represent people who have been struggling on mental illness. I'm not gonna be really talking about more people here, but I'm gonna somehow look deep into what I'm going through. So this is gonna be vulnerable for me. Yeah. But anyway, yes, thank you so much for being with me. And yeah, I'm gonna see you guys next time. XOXO. Love you guys.